Hello everybody, coaches and trainers. Today we have our amazing Divya Parekh. She is a four-time number one international best-selling author, international speaker, business leadership advisor, and book writing muse who has had great success with leaders, entrepreneurs, and aspiring authors. Divya's books and strategies have been endorsed by the likes of Brian Tracy, Marshall Goldsmith, Kevin Harrington, who's in the Shark Tank, James Malinchak, of course you remember him from ABC's Secret Millionaire, Sherry Wynn, who's like a two-time Olympian, and many more. I am myself. I'm Doa Darwish. I'm amazed by being by hosting Divya, and just want to make sure she's with us. Are you there, Divya?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. I can hear you on video though, on audio. I cannot see you on video.
Okay, let me see.
All right. You look great. All right. So we're ready to go. How is everything? How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good. And I see we have folks joining us. So welcome everyone. And how are you doing, Doa?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I've got a lot to ask you today, Divya. I've been reading your articles and, reading your books for the last few months, and I was amazed. And knowing that your topic today is to take coaches from being experts to being an authority in the market, that's such a statement. Using their books and, starting to get on top of their tools to make a statement in the market and prove their presence in being an authority. Let's start with this. I mean, I was just wondering, like, what is an expert in your opinion? What does the word expert mean?
Okay, there may be several different definitions out there, right? For experts, for authorities, the way I see it is, so this phrase is something that I have coined. To me, an expert is someone who really knows about their craft, somebody who is really well versed in what they're teaching other people. And also an expert is somebody who can take their message, stand in front of people. And when I say stand in front of people, it does not have to be speaking to an audience, but they're ready to take their message and share it with other people because they know that their message is going to make a difference. They know that they have this inner desire to make a difference. So that's what an expert is. It's having three things: passion, purpose, performance, and bringing it all three together. And of course, a byproduct of that is profitability.
Definitely, yes, because like you need to be an expert to be able to drag in profits to your company and other people's companies as well. What are the part of experience which contributes to being an expert, and how does that link into being a coach and trainer, Divya?
You said it perfectly. So what happens is that being an expert allows you to guide other people, and especially when you're talking about consultants and coaches. Let's break them down. If you're talking about coaches come from a perspective that they see that genius in other people, and now they're leading other people to achieve what they want. And when we take a look at consultants, being an expert means that you have that knowledge, you have insights, you may have programs, and it can come in any form or shape. It can be a program, it can be a product, it can be a service. And now you're taking that product or service, and whether you're working with corporations, whether you're working with small nonprofit organizations or entrepreneurs, leaders, whoever you're working with, an expert is a person who can take a person, who can guide them on a journey from point A to from point B. And let me share a quick story around that. So for example, one of my clients, she is an amazing leadership coach. So when you're talking about a leadership coach, she has been able to take women. When I call her a leadership expert. So yes, you're a leadership coach. Now you move beyond to say that, yes, I'm an expert. And what I've seen her do is take women from being, okay, I'm okay with where I'm at. I've seen her take these women as I've coached her through it. So this was part of writing her book. So initially she was very well versed, she was knowledgeable, and yet she did not have that confidence in her. She believed in her message, but she could not take it to the next step. And What was happening was she was working with clients, she was getting mediocre results. But an expert is someone who takes somebody from being ordinary to extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who takes person through a journey where you are creating that transformation, where you're creating that change for your clients. That's what an expert is.
So are you saying that you can be an expert, you can have the experience, but without the tools that you need, you're not going to be able to make it through the market and make a statement to make people recognize that you are actually an expert?
Absolutely. And as you said, how can coaches and consultants use it? So the key is your expertise helps other people move from point A to point B. And yet in the sea of familiarity, right? You can be out there and saying, oh, I'm a leadership coach. And so can several hundreds of people. And let's face the facts. In coaching is amazing. I'm going to be a proponent of coaching, consulting, helping other people, or as an entrepreneur, I am a big proponent of it. However, let's face the facts. There are so many people out there that when you have on your leadership profile, or let's look at LinkedIn profile or a Facebook page or Instagram or Twitter or your website, and when you say, I'm a leadership coach, what is it that makes you stand out in that sea of familiarity?
What do you mean when you say sea of familiarity, Divya?
So what I mean by that is, okay, let's talk about it. We are saying you're a coach. So there are hundreds and hundreds of coaches. Now we say, okay, let's make it niche specific. Now you say, I'm a leadership coach. There's still hundreds and hundreds of coaches. So this is what I say. This is what people are familiar with. Okay, you're a leadership coach. Now you come to my organization. What is it that you're going to do for me? And then you are sitting down and you are talking about like hundreds of things you can do for it. It does not work.
Mm-hmm.
It's about what is that tool that will make you stand out. So I'll just share an example. And I have actually something very, very exciting to share. And this is, of course, it's work in progress. I don't know where it's going to go. So one of my friends, she just like, Joe, you are a wonderful friend. One of my other friends, she just believes in me. She believes in my message. And what had happened was she invited me to a meeting. We were sitting there and I have my stack of books depending on, and as you can see behind me, I've got some of my books up there. I usually take my books to any networking meeting or anywhere I go, whether I'm traveling in plane, I have my books with me. So I was sitting there and I had different books. So like one was on leadership and influence, one was on appreciative inquiry, one was on critical thinking.
Your books.
This person, my books, yes.
Yeah.
So this person who was sitting next to me, and there are like 20 people in room. I'm the only one sitting with books.
Oh, yeah.
So this person comes up to me and says, can I take a look at your books? I said, sure, go for it. That's what these books are here for. And she started flipping through it. And she said, you know what? May I introduce you to somebody? I'm not going to give out the name in case if it doesn't happen. They are developing executive leadership program. And I see all elements that would go in executive leadership certification program. You already and she started flipping through some of my other books. Do you think I can introduce you? I'm like, of course. You are asking me such a wonderful question. Please go ahead and introduce me. So this is the power of books. I did not have to speak a word. So yes, I did say, and it's about niching it, right? Like even if you're a leadership coach, you take your message and you create that message mastery. That's where so now again, we talk about sea of familiarity. There are so many book coaches out there. So you may ask, okay, why Divya, why you? So it comes back is my expertise is in taking somebody's message and helping them create message mastery. So when you're talking about message mastery, it speaks to people. And this is just one example that I shared with you that happened. It has happened recently. I don't know where it's going to go. It's possible I may get involved in developing this executive leadership certification program and it may open up more doors.
Like, I mean, I know I come from a background of being a coach for years and years, and I've been speaking with a lot of coaches, and I know that their number one challenge, and I can, like, have the guts to say this, is finding more clients and keeping their clients. So in attracting clients and offering them books to give them the confidence to come to you, um, how would you be able to give your audience and our listeners today like an indication about how would they know that their book would really help their clients? How would they know their market? How would they know the needs of their market? How would they know that their message will succeed to like cross over the words on the pages? And I mean, they're all worried about wasting time, money, effort, having hopes, and then having all of that gone in vain if the book doesn't make it. How would you know your market? How would you define your market and make sure that the book would be a hit?
Oh, great question, Dua. And that's the key. And I have to share that my initial books, when they were written, I just took a topic, wrote it, and it did not click with market. So you're absolutely right on. But then as I went on and as I perfected my own message, as I perfected, and I'm to say that there's never a perfection. When I talk about perfection of my teaching or mastery of teaching, is that the perfection lies in continuous improvement.
Yeah.
The key is what's happening over here is that I stay abreast of all market trends. That, okay, where is marketing going right now? So for example, right now, just one simple thing what I found out is that LinkedIn is going to be emphasizing a lot on LinkedIn groups. So I'm just sharing strategy and we'll work backwards. So now, okay, if you know that LinkedIn groups is going to be the key, and when you are in knowledge of that trend, when you know that, so what you're going to do is you're going to go and hang out in LinkedIn groups. And the way we work, or the way our programs have been designed, Dua, or the way I work with people is you go and you ask your people.
Yeah.
We sit down and we walk down through and through. Who are your people? That's the key. You have hit the nail on the head. Knowing who your market is. And once you know who your market is, then we drill it down. Like, you get to know him as if you would be knowing your son, your daughter, your spouse, your friend. Because the idea is to serve here. And to me, that is one of the key things, that your message is to serve from heart. You truly, truly believe in that message, and you truly are desirous of making a difference. And when you're coming from a place of making a difference, what happens is you get to know your market. You get to know what is bothering them, what is changing their lives, what is it that they really need. And when you bring it down to that level, what happens is you are able to write the right message. And when you have the right message, Dua, then you stand out. And that's why I call it a sea of familiarity. Yes, there are hundreds and hundreds of books are being published every single day. So what is it that makes my book stand out? And that's where I call it's creating that message mastery.
Can you give us like 3 steps on how would you know your market? Like, 1, you got to do this, 2, this, 3, this, like in three simple steps.
Yes. So first of all is knowing who you're working with. That is very simple. Now, whether I'm working with men, whether I'm working with women, and if you're working with both, what kind of men and women you're working with. So that's one of the first steps. And rather than going 3 different steps, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this step and kind of go a little bit in detail so that way people get an idea, what does it mean to go about knowing about your market. So what is the demographics? What is the age group of my market? See, because the way we have, let's say we have got 5 generations or 4 generations in workforce. You've got baby boomers. Actually, I would say it's almost 5 generations. Baby boomers, X generations, millennials. Then we have Z generation, and some of the younger generations interns are coming in who are not even that Z generation. So almost pretty close to that 5 generations, or even if you look at 4 generations. And think about it, that society, our environment, our upbringing have shaped our thinking and shaped the way we communicate.
Yep.
So for example, a baby boomer expects a boss to come to his desk or have a really scheduled meeting and tell him what to do exactly. X generation is a little bit relaxed. Now millennials, they're good with text. What millennials say is, why is writing a letter so much more important than writing a text? As long as I have thought and intent, I'm good with it. So it's knowing your market. So that is, again, right? So this is a simple example. What is your age group? How are they thinking? So that's what we have talked about. Then secondly, in the demographics, again, we talked about age group. And reason I shared that age is important is because we looked at the reason that they are thinking differently.
Yeah.
Now, another second thing that you can know is that where are they residing? Are you narrowing your market down to US? Are you narrowing it down to UK, or are you narrowing it down to worldwide? So it's like thinking about that, because think about it just now. If you're writing a book about, or even if you're selling services in US, Me Too movement is huge, huge, huge.
Yeah. Yep.
So are you going to ride on that wave? What is your message? Does it coincide with it? And again, one of the things I want to emphasize over and over again is being authentic. You're not just out here to get clients. If you're coming from that place, in my experience, you may gain few clients, but you're not going to have long-term sustaining success. And if you're able to do it without being authentic, power to you.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Yeah, because I believe in respecting people, and I would say I agree to respectfully disagree with that philosophy, but it's about bringing that authenticity and genuineness of caring. So now when you know where they're living, right? So now you've narrowed it down. Third thing, what kind of people are you approaching? Because let's say, third thing in demographics, are your clients in corporations?
Yeah.
Are your clients entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
Are your clients teachers? Are your clients moms? So taking it further down, as you further it down, that's what's going to help you.
Yeah. And of course, like the more variety you have on board, the more expertise you gotta reflect in your book, and like the more, different examples from different parts of the world you need to have in the book to have them relate to whatever you're exposing them to.
Right.
All right. And since you mentioned the market who are coming from corporates, moving from this wide world, worldwide open market to the world of corporates. And this is a very interesting world to the coaches, because this is like a place where they are searching basically for jobs, and maybe as freelancers, maybe as, full-timers. So there's a tendency that I've seen, even like through research, Divya, where coaches with books tend to be more hired in corporations than coaches without books. And maybe if you remember the other day, we were talking about Dr. Harold Kersner, who mentioned that, and it was like a shocking statement for me when I asked them the question in the LinkedIn group, saying, like, what is one thing you would not hire a coach without? And then Dr. Kersner, and he's like, so he's like, he came in and he said, well, the one thing I would not hire a coach without is if a coach doesn't have a book. And that was shocking to me, game changer. So why would you think people would not hire coaches, or would be less, motivated to hire coaches without books in corporations?
Well, here's the thing, right? You can get hired by coaches, by other coaches who have books or who are running agencies. And when you are a solopreneur, and when I'm talking about for coaches, trainers, and consultants who are establishing themselves and trying to get into those big corporations, I will tell you, it's really very hard to get in the door. It's something about the book that it establishes instant credibility. Because think about it. People can write blogs, people can write articles, but a well-written book, and when you write the right book, that just makes you stand out. You can it's a very simple conversation that you and I had, that Dr. Kersner says, right? This is people who are the thought leaders in industry. And look at Jack Welch, look at Richard Branson. Every one of them has books. Why do you think they are taking the knowledge and summarizing in books? It's a testimonial in itself. So that's one of the things that when you say that what is one thing that will not let them get in the door is just being one of the experts. That's what will not let them get in the door. When you write a book in the right way, I'm not saying just write any book. When you write a book in the right way that showcases you, that positions you, that shows your expertise in a way that cannot be argued with, then you get to an expert from an expert to a status of being authority in your industry.
And it's becoming a serious prerequisite, isn't it? It's not becoming like an option anymore. It's becoming like a serious prerequisite for you as a coach to get into the door, especially of big corporations, amazingly.
Oh, absolutely. And I would love to share a video that I was talking to about one of my clients, Valerie Lyons. She is a professor in Hunter College, and she's a leadership trainer. And she saw this exponential growth of her business after she had written an ebook. I mean, this is not even, we're not even talking about the paperback book yet. We're just talking ebook and how of a difference it made in her life. And actually, she has come back again and she said, Divya, I need to write a paperback book, a printed book, because people are coming and asking me for that. So if you want to show that.
I'd love to. Can we do that? Oh, okay. Let me just go there. All right, here it is. So. You tell me, Divya, if the audio is okay.
Hello, friends. This is Divya, and I'm super excited to share that I have with me Valerie Lyons.
Okay, good.
Who is a phenomenal woman, and she's a great friend of mine. Hello, Valerie. Welcome.
Hey, Divya. Thanks for having me.
So, will you share how did we meet and what our relationship is?
Sure. So, I'm really pleased to be here with you, Divya. We met some years ago, while I was pursuing my certification as a coach with the International Coach Academy. I had the opportunity to meet you through joining a class that you were holding around business and entrepreneurs. And so I was really intrigued by your work and your passion and your commitment. And we just connected, and soon thereafter, I learned that you were a book coach in addition to being a career coach. And I had the good fortune of working with you in helping me craft and write my book. So that's how we met, and I've been, really blessed because of it.
Oh, and I'm blessed to have you in my life, Valerie. We started out in a business relationship, and then our relationship morphed into being friends. And that's the beauty of coaching, right? It's not just about writing a book together or achieving goals together. It's about having this investment in each other where we empower each other, we grow together. So friends, I'd like to introduce Valerie. Valerie Lyons is a passionate career empowerment coach, author, trainer, and speaker with a clinical counseling background. Valerie has over 15 years of experience positively impacting and teaching others how to be the leaders of their own lives and careers. So welcome again, Valerie. And let me ask you this. Why did you decide to write a book?
Well, so I decided to write a book, particularly around networking, because I really got to see how networking is who I am. I'm the kind of person who believes in helping folks, into supporting people, and into being a resource. And I realized that practically everything that I got in my life, between the friends that I have, the jobs that I've had in my life, have all come out of, networking, talking to people, sharing. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to write a book and to show others how I've benefited from the power of sharing.
Absolutely. And as you know, I'm a fan of books. I love books, especially on a rainy day as it's raining today. You can curl up in bed with a good book and read. And the beauty of having a book is that when you're coaching, it is one-to-one. And when you're writing a book, it can be so easily one-to-many and have that instant credibility and have that power to share your message with others. Now, as we talk about sharing your message with others, how have you used your book as a published author to share your message as well as grow your business?
Sure. So I've really, been quite fortunate in getting opportunities to present at conferences because of the book, presenting on power networking. I've done a number of women empowerment seminars. I'm, really passionate about women empowerment. So the book has really provided me an opportunity to get in front of women and talk about this work. I really believe that the job I have right now at Hunter College as an advisor was available to me because of my resources, because of my background as a coach and as a writer. So the book has really opened up a number of doors for me and has really been a vehicle for success.
Mm-hmm. I totally get that. And so many times, when you have, and I have had this conversation and we have talked that you've had clients, you've had more speaking engagements, and think about it, how fortunate it is that because of book, not only you're getting speaking engagements, and yet at the same time, you're able to share your message with so many more. And because of you, because of the message you're sharing about power networking, more women are coming closer together. So not only you're impacting yourself, you're impacting others, and which is why you went into your business, right?
Definitely. I've always seen how giving just expands who you are in the world, and it opens up doors. And I don't give in order to, I just know that that's the way the universe works. The more that you give, the more you really get. And I encourage people to give and to not always ask it with the intention of getting, but to just share and communicate with people what your needs are in the hopes that people will, I believe that people want to help it, that I have created that people want to help each other. So when I'm interacting with people, that is just something that I just assert, not in an arrogant way, but in a loving way.
Yes. And I'm a fan of giving. So what you said is so, so true. And you have seen all these wonders in your business because of an ebook. And I know what you're planning. Will you share with our audience what's next for you?
Sure. So I plan to write a second edition. I want to translate the ebook into a hard copy, because what I've experienced is when I go to conferences and present at seminars, although people will purchase an ebook, they're really looking for something right now. So I see that as an opportunity to have something readily available to promote and to so that people can have access to my work.
Oh, that is so well said, Valerie, because there's nothing like having something tangible in your hands. And there's so many ways you can take your printed book and go about it. It is a quality business card.
Yes.
Think about it. It will go with people inside their homes, on their coffee table. And it's so easy if a book is written the right way.
Yeah.
You are presenting yourself and positioning yourself in such a way that people don't forget about you.
Yeah, well, I think that goes with branding, and that's something that I talk to my clients about. I work in a college setting, so I always talk to the students about, what do you want to be, when you interact with people, what do you want them to be left with? What is the impression that you want them to be left with? So having something tangible allows people to kind of always have you in mind and have your presence be with them.
Absolutely. Thank you, Valerie, for being with us. And let's say, if somebody was thinking about writing a book, what would you share with them?
Well, I wish you'd get coaching. Divya is a wonderful book coach. You know, a lot of people that have wonderful creative ideas and really would benefit from having the structure and support of a book coach. So I definitely would say that. That was my bit of advice.
Thank you so much, Valerie. My hugs to you. You know, you are so awesome. It's just so wonderful to talk to you and have you in my life. So blessed.
Thank you, Divya.
So thank you for joining us today, Valerie, and also thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. And we say that rock your 2018 with a super book that positions you and that takes you places. Thank you and take care.
Bye.
Bye.
What a pleasure to see this video, Divya. It's awesome. It's awesome. All right, now I know people are going to get warmed up. I mean, after seeing this video, what's the next step? Now, knowing all what you've mentioned on hand, knowing everything that they've known before about writing a book and being interested, obviously, or else, I mean, they wouldn't have been joining this webinar and watching it. What's the next step? I mean, how do we get this real now instead of like being just enthusiastic about it?
Great question, Dora. So one of the things I want to share is that anybody who is desirous of writing a book, and it has to be desire from within, because are you ready to invest in yourself? Are you committed to yourself? Are you ready to take yourself to next level and also have that impact? Then next step would be to write a book. So there are three things. Either you can write a book on your own, and it's a great possibility that you may be able to write a good book, but you may not have the right book. And it may take you a whole lot longer than having either one of my programs by your side or having me by your side. Mm-hmm. So even during one of our programs that we have, do you want to share that special with folks that if they sign up within 48 hours?
Tell us about the special.
Okay, so the special is that there is a self-paced, self-directed program. We are offering it at 50% off right now. And you can take that program and work through it on your own. And also that special is going to bring you one session with me. So that way we can help you have that success strategy that you walk away with really good things. And also you get that special only for first 48 hours if you sign up. And also an assessment, which is a $50 worth of assessment. So basically, between my success strategy session and the assessment that I share with you, that tells you what's stopping you, what's making you go forward. Because when you're armed with self-knowledge, you are able to keep the momentum and keep going. So that's what it all has, and it will help you succeed in 2018. And also, I would love to feature you on one of the webinars. Think about it. Valerie is getting this just for writing a book, because she had written a book, and because we formed that connection and it has changed into relationship, Valerie is getting featured not only in front of probably 20,000 people that Doa has on her list.
Yeah, like for at least 2 million people on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay. There you go. And then also on my social media. So it's about forming that connection. I always say it's a handshake, it's a hugs and heart. So whenever you are going to be working with me, it's about a handshake. It's about hugging. Because I do it because I want to make a difference. I want to see you shine. And it's not just one-way street, it's a partnership. So that's what's next.
So since we just have a couple of minutes to wrap up, let me just take people to the link that you're mentioning regarding the intervention book coaching. I'll just be sharing my screen again.
In the meantime, do you want to just ask people if they have any questions to put it in chat?
Of course.
Or if you want to open up the lines, I think so. We have got a few more minutes before we wrap it up.
Of course, anybody, please, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box, or you can send them to helpdesk@trainersbox.net, helpdesk@trainersbox.net. I'm going to the link, and the link Divya has been talking about and offering her special on is www.trainersbox.net. Can you see that, Divya? Can you see the screen? Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right, so this is the link. It's www.trainersbox.net. trainersbox.net, and you go to this. Let me just hide this. Yeah, trainersbox.net / intervention book videos .html, or just go to trainersbox.net and search for book coaching videos, and it's going to take you there. It's a self-paced intervention book coaching program, and there's a live webinar that Divya made on this program. I'm going to be adding it in the links to this live webinar. You can go ahead and have a look at the videos. If you would like me to send you a link today on the webinar on the self-paced, to know more about the self-paced intervention book coaching, just send to me a request in the chat box. And if you have any questions now, please go ahead and send them to me. All right, everybody, if you have any questions, please go ahead and send them to helpdesk@trainersbox.net. Divya, I can't be more thankful to you today on this absolutely amazing webinar that's really going to help a lot of people to be on track and to be able to make a statement that will last in the coaching industry. What is the last word you want to say to people today before they go to the link and start browsing how they can get started?
One thing I want to say is that regardless whether you take action or you don't take action, remember that it is a choice, it's a decision that you're making. And all I can say is invest in yourself, regardless of what it is that you're going to do, and invest in others and make a difference. Thank you. And thank you to us so much for having me. And I would like to extend a warm thank you to our listeners who joined us. And I also want to share that it's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. I know it was yesterday, but happy Valentine's Day. And I wish you all the best throughout the year.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Divya. And may the love that we have for our clients and market be, grow every day, and help them share their passion with their clients and be able to successfully make it onto the top in their careers. Thank you so much, Divya. It's been such a pleasure hosting you today. This is Doa Darwish, everybody, and see you in our next webinar.